Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Saturday night, and before I go to bed, I thought it would be fun to do a video game review for the video game review section of the YouTube channel. Tonight we will be reviewing one of my favorite anime games, and that, my friends, is Dragon Ball, the Final Bout. For the Sony PlayStation, we will be reviewing the Japanese version of this game, which is my favorite version of this game because it comes with some excellent music by Hinorobu Kageyama, the performer who really did all the really good Japanese vocal songs for Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball GT, even though this game is supposed to be essentially a Dragon Ball GT game, brings Hinorobu Kageyama back. Dragon Ball GT basically moved away from Hinorobu Kageyama's vocals in favor of, a more J-poppy style with people like Zard and Field of View and Wands. Both Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT have great soundtracks, but I'm definitely happy that this game in particular brought Hinorobu Kageyama back. So this game was the final Dragon Ball game up until Legacy of Goku came out for the Game Boy Advance in the early 2000s. This game came out in 1997 when Dragon Ball GT was still on the air in Japan. This game actually saw a US release right around the same time it came out in Japan, and this game is quite rare. This came out when Dragon Ball Z was beginning its run in the United States, and the thing I like about the US release of this game is it features my favorite character on the disc, Mystic Gohan, right here. The Japanese version does not have Mystic Gohan on the disc, so that's kind of disappointing. Now, since Dragon Ball Z got really popular in the US, when Dragon Ball GT came out, this game was re-released with custom art from Toei Animation for a US release. So, lots of fun, interesting stuff about this game. But enough talking about it. Let's actually sit back and watch Dragon Ball GT, the Final Bout's ridiculous opening credits here. The opening song here actually sounds quite a bit like the opening to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So here we see essentially all of the characters of the game in a very high quality, nice anime cutscene with the song The Biggest Fight by Hinorobu Kageyama. Now, I had played this game long before I saw Dragon Ball GT, so playing this game gave me very high expectations for Dragon Ball GT, which sadly were not met. Dragon Ball GT is not bad, but this game is like some crazy dream match of all the Dragon Ball characters with some of Dragon Ball GT's artistic flair. And when you actually sit down and watch Dragon Ball GT, it really neglects a lot of the character development that was done in Dragon Ball Z in favor of just having Goku and Pan, frolic around the galaxy and then Goku coming back to Earth and just beating people up. So that was kind of disappointing. But here is Dragon Ball GT. Now, if you want to unlock all of the characters in this game, because there are hidden characters in this game, what you will do is on this screen hit right, left, down, up, and start. Triangle 9 times and then square 9 times, and you're going to get a nice roster of characters that looks something like this. Let's hit the lights and grab our controller, and I will show you. So, this game, the gameplay on it is, this opening theme here is fantastic, and this riff sounds just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So, yeah, here we see Cell, Frieza. Actually, the art style for this opening credits, it's got a little bit more of that, late 90s anime angularity, I don't know, kind of strategic placing of certain things on the face. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit of Escaflowne with those kind of exaggerated noses. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but this looks like Dragon Ball, but it also looks a little bit different. And I like it. I like it quite a bit. I can't tell you how much I love this opening theme to this game here. So, I'm actually just tempted to just sit here and watch this whole thing again, but since we did kind of start at this point in the video, I feel like we should get into gameplay. But you can just sit and listen to this theme forever because it is just fantastic. It is ridiculous. It's beautiful, and it's just filled with energy and power, which is a signature of Hinorobu Kageyama and also a signature of Dragon Ball, making this a very appropriate opening theme for Dragon Ball. In fact, this is arguably, the best Dragon Ball opening theme. I don't know if I would make that argument, but you could argue it. So, okay, now let's actually get down to some playing here. Now that we've spent 5.5 minutes just talking about this game here. And now, because I have unlocked everything, you'll see Super Saiyan 4 Goku is on the background screen because I entered in that character unlock code. You will literally have to play this game over and over again to unlock all the characters in this game. So here, this is a mode where you can level up your character. So this game does have something of an RPG element. This here... Actually, maybe this is the mode where you can level up your character. This is your options screen. There are some different things you can turn on and off. I'm just going to leave everything on for the sake of the game play experience here so you can see everything. But basically, there is some moves where the characters will rush you, and it's kind of hard to block them. And if you can pull that move off, you do a lot of damage. And then there's energy battles between the characters. The controls in this game are not great, and the gameplay of this game is kind of slow, but the presentation of this game is so strong that you don't really care if you like Dragon Ball. So, yeah. Is this the... No, yeah, this is the level up This is the level up mode. I'm sorry, this is all in Japanese, so I'm just kind of feeling my way around this game. I haven't played it in a while. So let's say I do the arcade mode, because that is the best mode. And here's that nice character roster I was telling you about. So we have Dragon Ball GT Goku Pan, Dragon Ball GT Kid Goku Trunks, Vegeta, Piccolo, Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan Goku, Frieza, Kid Buu, Cell, Mystic Gohan. This is Dragon Ball Z Goku, Future Trunks, Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan Kid Goku, and Trunks. So we have a very nice roster of characters. It was heavily rumored for a long time that Gotenks was in this game. That is not true. But back in 2002, 2003, when internet rumors about Dragon Ball AF were running wild, there was a rumor that you could play as Gotenks in this game. You could argue that there's way too many versions of Goku in this game, and that's a fair argument. But we're going to be my favorite character, Mystic Gohan, and we're going to show you some sample gameplay here. Yeah, this is a good matchup here. Gohan versus Kid Buu, and you can hear me rant about how Gohan should have beaten Kid Buu in Dragon Ball Z, because the Buu saga was, starting off to be my favorite saga in all of Dragon Ball Z, and then the ending I thought just made absolutely no sense. Because the whole series was built up around Gohan up to that point for that arc. And then randomly, Gohan just kind of disappeared, and then Goku beat Majin Buu, and I thought that made absolutely no sense. It was extremely disappointing. I thought that the people who should have beaten Majin Buu were Gohan, Gotenks, and Videl, rather than Goku, Vegeta, and Mr. Satan. I thought the ending for Dragon Ball Z was not bad. I just thought it was lazy, sloppy, didn't make a lot of sense, and was ultimately disappointing for what started out as a really good arc. That said, I don't hate it, but I'm very critical of it because Gohan is my favorite character, and the Buu arc, if you read the manga and watch the anime, the opening credits and closing credits, Gohan is the main character, and the rug just gets kind of pulled out from under him, and the story flow all of a sudden becomes very disjointed and odd in the Buu saga, with Goku randomly becoming the main character again. So a little bit about the gameplay of this here. If you don't glide, this game moves really slow. See, this is me not gliding here. This is me gliding, and the gameplay is much faster. So you really do have to glide in this game. Once you get a feel for it, it is actually pretty fun to play. It plays kind of like the Street Fighter 2 type control scheme is kind of basically what you play with here. But it's not quite as responsive, and you do have to be kind of careful when you're playing this game because it is a little bit difficult to turn around, and if you're not gliding, as I just showed you, it is pretty slow moving. But if you understand what to do in this game, it's actually quite enjoyable to play, and the presentation is very strong. The music is good, the graphics are great, and the Dragon Ball characters are have their voice actors and their signature moves. So again, if you know what you're doing on this game, it's actually quite fun, despite the fact that it's not, you know, Tekken Tag 2 or Tekken 1 even quality gameplay for a 3D fighter. But if you're looking for a good 90s anime game to play, see how kind of slow it takes to turn around. And, I mean, the gameplay can get a little cheap here, because if you do want to play this game fast, you just kind of keep doing this. And this is just a good way to knock your opponent out. So you can be pretty cheap here. But, at least for me, this is a fun game to play. Despite the fact that it does have some flaws that are pretty obvious. So let's see who we've got next up. Ooh. It's a father-daughter fight. Gohan will be fighting Pan. I actually think the presentation of Pan in Dragon Ball Super is better than the presentation of Pan in Dragon Ball GT. And Pan is a baby in Dragon Ball Super, so... But Pan in Dragon Ball GT is not bad either. I actually have the Dragon Ball GT game for Game Boy Advance, which is kind of a mediocre beat-em-up, but it's not bad. We definitely need to review that at some point on the channel. Now, you have essentially for your controls, energy for triangle blast. If you hold square and X, you charge up, and look at how nice the charge up looks on this game here. You know, square's punch, and X is block, and circle is kick, and those are your controls. And you can just kind of do the, you know, forward, down, forward type moves, or down, forward, or down, diagonal, forward. All this kind of Street Fighter style moves will basically, essentially work, but they're, you have to kind of keep hitting them to punch them in. So it's definitely not as fluid of gameplay as a normal Capcom game. This game is made by Bandai. I remember reading a while ago that there was a poll on Shonen Jump that people chose what characters they wanted in this game. And this game really is supposed to be like the final Dragon Ball fighting game, because this was out right around the end of Dragon Ball GT. Dragon Ball's popularity would continue, obviously, and now here's a battle here, and this is what I don't like, because I'm probably going to lose this here. Yeah, because I'm not very good at this. I mean, I'm good at the game, but I'm not good at winning those energy battles, so I usually just turn those off, actually, which is a nice feature you can do if you don't like that. But they look really cool. So right here, this is kind of like a dragon punch I can do with Gohan here. The soundtrack is extremely nice in this game. Very nice instrumentals. Once you get to Future Trunks in this game, his music is the instrumental of Hikari no Willpower, and it's fantastic. Oh, shoot. This is another thing I'm not good at countering here. So Pan actually might knock me out. Yikes. Ah! I think this is called a meteor attack. Jeez. No, no, no. Block, block, block. Oh, man. Pan knocked me out. That is not good. Well, let's continue. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't show you Super Saiyan 4 Goku in this game here, so let's do that. And we'll see if Pan can knock out Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This will be a true Dragon Ball GT fight. She just was like, wow, Grandpa. Yeah, Dragon Ball GT. I actually really like the design of Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but the whole Goku being a kid thing, I don't know, I thought that was kind of random. I remember reading that Dragon Ball GT was originally supposed to be structured like the original Dragon Ball, and so they wanted to have Goku as a kid, and Pan was supposed to be like Bulma, and then Trunks was supposed to be like Yamcha, and I don't know, I didn't think that worked right at all, because Goku and Bulma, you know, they weren't related, so you could have some kind of fun, flirty humor with them, even if it was kind of awkward. Man, I'm not doing well with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I gotta concentrate on what I'm doing here. There we go, times 10 Kamehameha, and I'm out of breath already. Yeah, look at how big Super Saiyan 4 Goku's energy is. So yeah, I don't know, I thought the execution of Dragon Ball GT, even in its early stages, was kind of awkward, but I don't know, it's still not bad to watch. The other thing I remember reading about Dragon Ball GT was it was supposed to basically take place in between Dragon Ball Z's end of the Buu arc and the final chapter, and for whatever reason, I guess Akira Toriyama and Toei decided to do it after the final chapter of Dragon Ball Z, where everyone was older, and I also think that limited some of the character potential. So, let's end this video on us fighting Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan Trunks. So, we'll basically do Goku beating Pan, then beating Trunks. And I think that'll give us a good sample of the gameplay here. Although I'm kind of bummed that my Mystic Gohan was beaten by Pan, so... Flying attack! Ah, no! The boss of this game is a Super Baby. So it is the Super Saiyan Orazu baby who takes control of Vegeta. Yeah, very nice. Now, the only way we'll keep playing this is if we're fighting future Trunks. Because this is regular Trunks. You know what? Yeah, let's fight regular Trunks. We're in a Dragon Ball GT, character arc here, so let's beat regular Trunks too. I'll make this quick. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as you can see, is like extremely overpowered, so he's like definitely the strongest character in this game here. So, there we go. Kept that nice and quick. The characters will say different things depending on how much you destroy your opponent. So. Alright, so I think this will be a good spot to end the review. We're approaching 19 minutes, so ladies and gentlemen, that has been a Dragon Ball GT The Final Bout. A very interesting game. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, I highly recommend playing this game. If you're a fan of early PlayStation 3D fighting games, I recommend playing this game. And if you're just interested in some nice anime music and nice 3D models, I recommend playing this game. If you like smooth fighting games and high-quality competitive matches, this game may or may not be for you. So, until next time, my name is Noel. You take care, and I will see you sooner than later. Bye-bye.